Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications because we're going to be live for the 2022 NFL Draft right here on the Raiders Report. Let's go to the first question coming in here from Felipe Mendia. Hey, Mitch. I'm going to keep saying Mendia, so get over it. I'm sorry I'm off topic here, but do you think Pat Gass' defense is similar to Paul Guenther's defense in terms of simplicity? No. Patrick Graham and Paul Guenther's defenses are very, very different. So Paul Guenther ran what's something that is known as a cover 6. And yes, it's kind of a difficult thing to explain. It's essentially everything is on the table. That you don't necessarily game plan for anything. You're prepared for everything. And the reason why it's not good is because you're letting the offense dictate what you're going to do. One of the reasons why I like Patrick Graham's defenses, and one of the reasons why I was always a fan of the way the Patriots used to scheme, is because they're like, all right, this is what you guys do really well. Well, now we're going to take that away from you. Patrick Graham's defense does the same thing. He runs cover 2, cover 3 sometimes. He's going to mix it up on you. There's going to be 4-2-5. There's going to be a 3-4. A lot of different defensive sets because he knows his team is going to be prepared and take away what you do the best. Let's go to LC Raider. Do you think acquiring Waller was the best move Gruden made in his second run with the silver and black? Acquiring Gruden was the best move. I don't even know if Gruden was the reason why Waller came over. I mean, I'm trying to think of, I believe it had to do with the Baltimore Ravens old tight ends coach or a scout. It was something like that, came on over to the Raiders or gave the Raiders a hint, and then that's why. But off the top of my head, I'll say sure, but then I'll also say drafting Max Crosby. I don't know if that was Gruden's doing. I don't know if it was Mayock's Gruden or doing, but I would say drafting Max Crosby has benefited the Raiders more than what Darren Waller has since 2019. Let's go to Arnold Garcia. If the Raiders don't plan on paying Waller, should they trade him now or wait until 2023? Arnold, it's a good question, and you're right. And I'll say this. If the Raiders do not plan on keeping or extending Darren Waller, then you can absolutely look to go ahead and trade him. But I'm not trading him in 2022. Everything the Raiders did this entire offseason is planning on going in all in right now and trying to just win baby in 2022. If you want to move on from him after this season, then that's a totally different discussion. And in fact, a lot of people that I've talked to do not believe Darren Waller will be on the Raiders in 2023, but I know he's going to be on the Raiders this season. But here's your opportunity. I'll be honest with me because that's what being a Raider fan is. Not only do you got to be honest with yourself, you got to be honest with the entire group of people here, the nation. So what should the Raiders do with Darren Waller? Do you pay him? Do you make him the highest paid tight end in the league? Type P for pay. Or, like, man, I don't know if I want to do that. He's 30 years old. Go ahead and type T for trade. We got JMO H, a.k.a. Devil J. If we trade Foster, Moreau, and Mullen with next year's picks, could we get a first-round pick? No. No. Foster, Moreau, I would say you'd be lucky to get a 5th for Foster, and for Mullen, a 4th. So a 5th and a 4th-round pick, you combine those together, and you still got a 4th-round pick. So, yeah, no, you're not going to get a first-rounder for those guys. Those guys are good players, but the way that the NFL evaluates talent, and Foster and Trayvon have not shown nearly enough. Like, even if you traded both of those guys, again, I don't even think you'd get a 3rd-round pick. Let's go to Ant-Man. Appreciate the super chat. Leatherwood and Simpson earned starting left guard and right tackle. I'll say no. I think Leatherwood playing right tackle is more likely than John Simpson starting at left guard. Leatherwood he was the right guard last season. Drafted to be a tackle, moved to right guard because he couldn't get it done. But he's already been, from what I've been told, working as a potential right tackle replacement. The starting offensive line, if the Raiders had a game today, would be Colt Miller at left tackle. Left guard would be Denzel Good. Center would be Andre James. Right guard would be Alex Leatherwood. Right tackle would be Brandon Parker. I don't want John Simpson starting. Sorry, don't think he's all that great. Good backup player, and he can be a reliable backup player, but not good enough to start in the NFL. K Smooth 21. Do you see the Raiders moving back into the first round? No. You'd have to give up a boatload of picks, right? If you move on from all 5 of your Raiders draft picks, 86, 126, 164, 165, 227, When you take all those picks and their value, it equals round 367. The only way you're getting into the first round of this year's draft is if you trade Darren Waller. Like, I don't see there being another scenario where you get into the first round and it doesn't involve trading Darren Waller. So, getting into the first round? No. Getting into the second round is a possibility, and I made a video 2 weeks ago about 5 trades the Raiders could do to try to get up into the second, and I also made a trade getting them up into the first. But again, you're going to give up a lot of picks in next year's draft, picks in this year's draft, and some key players as well. So not only am I going to be live for the NFL draft here on the Raiders Report, Chat Sports, best YouTube coverage 4 straight years, also going to be live all 3 days, all 7 rounds from April 28th to the 30th. So what I want you to do, go in your calendars right now and just block off April 28th, April 30th, label it as Chat Sports because I'm going to be live. The whole team's going to be live. There's going to be times where I'm going to be live here on the Raiders Report and on our YouTube channel at Chat Sports. Guys, we're going to be having fun. We're going to be balling out. Our balls are going to be in, but we're going to be balling out here. So make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell, youtube.com/chatsportstv. I know it's not on screen, but who's going to be the number 1 overall pick? I thought it was going to be Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know. It might be Trayvon Walker now. I don't know who it's going to be, but you guys let me know, and we're going to let you know on draft night. So make sure you subscribe, and make sure you're tuning in. Let's go to Raiderzilla. Any way we can trade Waller for Jair Alexander? Probably not. If I was Green Bay, I don't even know if I would make this trade. And Jair Alexander, when fully healthy, I would say is a top 10 corner. According to PFF, 2020, he was a top 2, top 3 corner. Jair Alexander is a phenomenal player, and I've loved him since he first came out of college from Louisville. First-round pick. A lot of talent. Got some length there as well. But if you're Green Bay, this doesn't make any sense for you either because they're also in win-now mode. And trading away Jair Alexander simply doesn't make sense. Let's go to William. It's my middle name. Merchant. Can the Just Win baby get an eye patch? Unfortunately, the reason why the Just Win baby took forever to make is because of the legal team. The legal team didn't want to put us in a situation where the NFL or even the Raiders would sue us. So to the eye patch, to all the sword comments, the answer is no. Let's go to rdog_76. Wouldn't it be a slap in the face if Waller left the Raiders after they took a chance on him? I'll say no, because at the end of the day, the Raiders, did they take a chance on Waller? Yes. But Waller also took a chance on the Raiders. And the reason why I'm going to go ahead and say that is because Las Vegas, as we've seen, can sometimes be a difficult city for athletes to come into. And Waller, with all his past issues, still decided to come to Las Vegas. On top of that, the last time Darren Waller signed his contract extension, he took a very team-friendly deal. I mean, 3 years, 27. He's the 12th highest paid tight end in the National Football League right now. So I'm not going to say it'd be a slap in the face. I would be disappointed if that ended up happening. But Waller also has got to look out for him. He's got to look out for his family. And the Raiders, the NFL as an organization, they have money to spend, right? So I'll go ahead and say no. I don't think it'll be a slap in the face. All right, guys. Again, we're going to be live on the Raiders Report on Chat Sports. All the content you could possibly need here on YouTube. So youtube.com/Raiders Report. If you're already subscribed, take that link that you see below, send it to a friend, send it to a Raiders fan, tell them to join the show because the more people we get here, the more fun and the more that we're going to be rocking and rolling on the Raiders Report. And if they do decide to trade up, dude, it's going to get weird. I'm going to tell you that right now. Let's go to my favorite ghost, Raider Casper. Just curious, would you trade Waller on draft day if it secured Jordan Davis? It's a really good question, and I'll say it depends, right? It depends for me how far Jordan Davis has slid down the board. Do I love Jordan Davis as a prospect? Yes. But I also know that Jordan Davis isn't a lock. I know that Darren Waller is a lock. So I wouldn't just do Darren Waller for Jordan Davis straight up. That I wouldn't do. But if there was something else involved in it where the Raiders are also getting a second-round pick or something like that, then sure. But the other reason why you don't do it is because the biggest investment the Raiders have is Derek Carr and winning. So, probably not still. Let's go to, I love this name, Soldier's Boy. If the Raiders do trade Waller, who is a free agent tight end the Raiders could sign? Okay, I mean, the top guy I would say is Jared Cook. He's already got connections with Derek Carr. He is 35 years old. If you're looking for a blocker, Kyle Rudolph is the name that I'll throw out there. And then maybe an old guy who has good relationship with DC, not much of a pass catcher. I'll say Lee Smith. Lee Smith is a blocker. Maybe that's what you're looking for. The Raiders already went out. They brought back Nick Bowers. And they also went ahead and they signed Jacob Hollister, which would make Foster your true number one. If that does happen, though, look for the Raiders to be, if the Raiders trade Waller, I think that means they also know there's a few tight ends in the draft that they like, and one of those guys that they end up taking in the draft will try to be the number 2 tight end, if you will. So we were talking a lot about Waller because there was a lot of these reports, a lot of these rumors that came out that the Green Bay Packers were pursuing Darren in a trade, and one of the reasons why it's coming up is because I know for a fact Waller wants a raise, and when you talk about getting a raise, it's probably going to be about $15.5, $16 million per year for Waller, making him the highest paid tight end in the National Football League. If you want to keep Waller, you type your P for pay. If you don't want to keep Waller, then go ahead and type your D for don't. Love DC Forever Super Chat time. What if Waller goes to Green Bay for his big contract, $15 million? The Raiders get his money, don't they? We don't have to pay him anything. I mean, if Waller wanted to go to Green Bay for his big contract, yes, and correct, the Raiders wouldn't have to pay him anything. But at $15 million, you'd be dumb not to go out and get Waller. And one of the biggest reasons is Waller, to me, he is a tight end. But how many times did I say it, and how many times did y'all say it last year? Waller's the number one. He's the number one wide receiver. If Christian Kirk's getting $17 million a year playing wide receiver, why the hell would you not pay Darren Waller $15 million? Waller's a tight end, but he's also a damn good wide receiver. And $15 million for a wide receiver of Darren Waller's caliber is an absolute steal. Let's go to Christopher Leonard. No Raiders action on the first night of the draft. I don't see the Raiders doing anything, but I don't take any days off. Chat Sports Team doesn't take any days off, and we're going to be live here. We're going to be partying. We're going to be having a good time. I'm also a little bit superstitious. What do I mean by that? The first 2 days of free agency, Raiders didn't do anything. First round, might not do anything. Second round, might not do anything. Then it got wild, and then it was a lot of fun. Fingers crossed that's what happens in the NFL draft. Again, guys, if you want to get those questions, comments on the show, go ahead and use hashtag Raiders, or you can go ahead and super chat. How about this? I like this question here. Shout out to Sam. Should the Raiders trade up? Type TU for trade up, or would you rather them stay put at pick number 86? I guess I could also say, do you want them to trade back? So TU for trade up, SP for stay put, trade back. Go ahead and type TB. Juicehead89, what's up, my dog? Derek said he hopes or wants his guys to be all signed. So do you see Jacobs, Waller, and Edwards, etc. extended? Edwards doesn't make any sense to extend him right now because he's only entering year 3. Waller, he's still got 2 years left on his deal. Derek, from what it sounded like, he wants Hunter Renfrow to be the next guy to get his contract. The only other player that I would consider giving an extra deal to would be Denzel Perriman. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Jacobs, though, Jacobs is another interesting one. And the Raiders aren't going to extend Jacobs right now. They would give him a 5th-year option. The 5th-year option would be worth $8.03 million, and you have to make that decision by May 2nd. Let's go to Jersey Balboa. If the Raiders trade Waller, in my opinion, we should get a king's ransom because a player like Darren Waller doesn't grow on trees. You're right. The other issue is, though, the only way that the Raiders are moving on from what I believe from Darren is if the sides can't reach an agreement. When that happens, then the trade value goes down. If the Raiders were like, we don't want to trade Darren Waller, we're not going to do it, and then a team comes in and they offer you a big-time deal, then that's when you get a king's ransom. However, when I hear people who I trust, when I talk to even certain players, the only way that the Raiders and Darren Waller trade happens is if there's a bad split-up. If a bad split-up happens, then the player doesn't go for as much as what he is worth. So if Darren gets traded, I could see him going for like a second, maybe a 4th, second and a 5th round pick style of deal because something got murky in the water, which made that trade happen. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, guys, we get a lot of questions here, and I know we're going to get tons of questions over the next week. And to make sure that I give you the best answer, that I make it worth your while, you can always DM me your questions on Locals. And it's not because I don't want to respond on Instagram. I still keep my IG and my Twitter up to date with Raiders news and rumors. It's just the DM flow on IG, it just gets super, super bogged down. So if you take time to DM me on locals, I'll make sure I go ahead and answer them. Go ahead, Raidersport.locals.com, become a member for free, and send me those DMs. Let's go to Brandon Switzer. Did you hear your voice on the Shield, the Raiders official channel? So, somebody sent me a video today, actually, and they put at a certain minute mark, and usually when people do that, it's either something happens or whatnot. But no, I actually did not listen to it yet. But now that you bring this up, I will go ahead and I'll listen to it. But the Raiders official channel, hear your voice on the Shield. The only way, though, I'll actually take it as a compliment is if they actually invite me to be on that show. Because, yes, the Raiders have their own YouTube channel, but we get more views, the Raiders Report, than the Raiders official YouTube channel. I mean, yes, we make more content, but we still get more views. That's pretty cool. Let's go to Philip. Mitch, did I miss how many just win babies on odds of Waller getting traded? Did you miss it? Kinda, sorta. I'm going to go ahead and give this one 0 just win babies. Tuck rule, tuck that. Trade's not going to happen. Jeremy Fowler said no chance. Derek Carr said laugh out loud, no chance. I do think a trade for Waller next season, I would give that 2 just win babies and say it's a 50-50 shot. But at this current moment, no. I do not see it happening whatsoever. Philip, appreciate you tuning in, and the fact that you're using the just win babies, that's important to me because I want to get that thing going. I want it to be more popular than the Chucky heads because I saw before I came on the live show all the comments about Gruden. Gruden sucked. Gruden was terrible. There's no doubt about it. So hopefully the just win babies are a lot better than Jon Gruden.